Each week, we hold in our service a time for honoring the joys and the sorrows of those in our church community. This past week, a number of members of our church reached out to me, asking me to place stones to acknowledge their joys and their sorrows. Ellie Tucker reached out asking me to place 3 stones. The stones are for anniversaries of loss. This past week, on May 14th, was the 9-year anniversary of the death of Ellie's daughter, Laura. Back in April was the 7-year anniversary of the death of Ellie's husband, Lanny. And this spring, this past week, Ellie is recognizing the 4-month anniversary of the death of her son-in-law, Alex. Ellie says that if we were meeting in person, she would bring a great big flower bouquet to honor their memories, and that she'll do that when we're back together. Cindy Barker asked me to place a stone of relief and a stone of hope for her daughter, Jennifer. Jennifer was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was given a very short-term prognosis. However, she has received recently a second opinion from a doctor who has told her that he thinks she has a lot longer to live and says that she should come back every 3 months to get checked. Cindy writes, "This is a wonderful thing for all of us, but especially Jennifer, who feels as if she has at least gotten a reprieve." Amber Brown asked me to place a stone asking us to keep the Lopardi family in our thoughts and prayers. Amber's friend Amanda was a childhood friend who's having to take her 7-year-old off life support due to a sudden illness. Amber says they will be needing all the love and light that the universe can provide, and she asks that we hold this family in our prayers. Demia Wright asks me to place a stone for her longtime friend Renee in South Carolina. Demia writes that she found out that Renee has spent the last few months dealing with a resurgence of cancer and also battling blood clots, especially hard during this time of pandemic. And so we hold Renee in our prayers and send her prayers for strength and health. Chris Immershine asked me to place 2 stones. Chris shares that Jim Smith, the husband of Chris's mother-in-law, passed away yesterday evening in Salisbury after entering hospice at a veterans home there. He had been in poor health for several years. Chris especially asks us to hold Dawn's mom, Nancy, in our prayers. She could not be there with her husband, but was able to FaceTime with him. So we hold the Immershine family. Chris asked me to place a second stone. Andy O'Neill, his Aunt Kathy's husband from Ocracoke, he is in the hospital getting tests for issues with his kidneys, and so we hold Andy O'Neill in our thoughts. Gray Brown asked me to place a stone of joy. Gray has been hired for a temporary job with a local business in Durham, and Gray asks that we all cross our fingers that this will become a permanent job. And finally, Joan Mead asked me to place a stone of joy. The Mead's joy is that Joan's brother survived his bout with COVID-19 with no serious ill effects. Joan expresses thanks to all who expressed their support. She says that she passed along these messages to her brother and that he appreciated them very much as well. A final stone is placed this morning for all those joys and sorrows that we hold in our hearts that were not spoken. Amidst the joys and the sorrows of our community, amidst all of those silent prayers for ourselves and for the world that live in our hearts, let us hold this time of recognition, this time of contemplation, this time of prayer together. Amen, and blessed be. The words by which we extinguish the chalice are these. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.